I'm going to articulate things well, and I'm going to think it out, and I'm going to work through it.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you think you get my go to that, man, he gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
All right, welcome back to Get My Go, episode number 13. First thing we have to do right off the bat is thank our previous guest, Mr. Jeff Lane from The Brand. He was on part 1 and part 2 of episode 12. Part 1 is out as we speak, and it's doing record numbers, man. Like wrestling with reality type, insane numbers, huge
Crazy.
numbers. Yeah. As Christopher Martin would say, bonker numbers, whatever that means. Not bonkers numbers, but bonker numbers. You'll hear that later.
Bonkers would be the type of guy who would boast about his long hair while rapidly receding at the front. Like this guy's approaching Hulk Hogan hair, and he's wondering why we're making fun of him. That's why he has to use a app to take pictures off, because he thinks we don't know. Let me tell you something. When your entire jaw changes shape and your teeth suddenly aren't the same color as fucking back, then we know that there's a problem.
No, I can't wait to get into this because I don't know what it is, but some of the things that I heard recently or have been told is that, and the people that watch this are obviously watching it as a series. Most of them have seen them all. So you go back to the beginning where Jon quit and was like, well, if I ever come back, we're going to do things the right way. It's going to be about fun. It's not going to be about downloads and money and this and that. Fast forward to now, they're like, we got sponsors back, and these numbers are huge. Like, they're not, nothing has changed at all. And it actually kind of pisses me off. I thought they were fucking dead and buried. I'm getting irritated that they're getting their confidence back.
Yeah.
But this is the problem with them, is that the actual facts and proof are out there of what this gentleman is like, this arsehole. And they've learned nothing because they're stupid people. Like, that's why they are in the position in life that they're in, because they're dumb and they're outcasts, and they need to be lied to. Like, they don't, even if you showed them proof, says, listen, Hitler's still alive, they would go, oh, no, he's not. I don't want him to be alive. This is the kind of people they are. So Jon Wanglund is now doing exactly the same stuff. So what we can do is do what happened again. We can go to the advertisers and say, you know, this guy, he's full of shit. He's click farming. And then it's I'm going into a hiatus again there, man. Might be for a week, it might be for 8 days. I just don't know. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon just announced on their latest episode that they have a sponsor again, and he read ad copy that was over a year old, and the strange thing was the promo code for the ad for MyBookie, it was a promo code for the Effing For Real show, which not on his network anymore.
No. But I think what he's trying to get away with is, if I change the name, they're not going to remember that Wrestling with Reality is that company that had ads the year before and did no business and was found out to be a little squirrely. So he's trying to use this Cheap Pops and Cheap Cocks name or whatever it is, and
that'll be the new T-shirt. That'll be up in
Cheap Pops and Small Cocks.
Yeah, if you know what his show's called, Cheap Pops and what's the Hot Takes or something,
and
yeah. So Jon Wanglund is stupid and annoying.
So they'll get their 2 or 3 weeks of MyBookie. If it's a legit thing, it'll never come back. And if it continues, it's because they're using affiliates, which affiliates are fine. I've used some. We've used some.
Explain the difference to those that don't know. What's the difference between an affiliate and an actual sponsor?
A sponsor is when they go, you air 2 ads a month, and I'll give you $400. And I go, well, what if we're going to add in social media promotion? See, I shouldn't do this because now Jon's going to be like, ooh, and write his little notebook on what he should do. And then they'll be like, okay, social media promotion, I'll throw another 100 on. Boom. All right, $500 for the month. Cool. It's paid. Sometimes they're paid in advance. I'm trying to get from now on, and sometimes they're 90 days behind. Like a sponsor I'm not going to name, but affiliates are when you are just coming in, and it used to be mostly for websites, where if you had a website, MikeDurbin.com, and in the corner you had your little Amazon link or whatever. Every time someone clicks on the link and spends money, you get money. You get a small percentage. Affiliates, it's the same thing. It's where you go to MyBookie and you say, I have this podcast network. It airs 4 times a week, whatever. We talk sports. I'm an MMA expert. And we'd like to work with you guys, and then they give you a code or a link, and they say, have at it, and you'll get 10% of every bet that comes through your link. So it's no guaranteed money. They will literally sign up with anyone to do an affiliate. Any site will do it. And actually, if you're a podcaster and you want to get some, if you think your show could do well with a CBD site or something, look around. You can find affiliate programs, but just know you're not guaranteed any money. And people are fucking cheap. So
the thing is that this is a perfect example of how Wangland gets caught in a lie, where he's now still claiming to have effing for real. And that's what he's probably going to say. Hey there, man, I work for this Joe Rogan kid. What do you say about buying some space for fucking Star Wars or something there, man? And maybe throw in the free shirts very tight in the chest. This it's unbelievable, this fucking guy. And this clip we're going to do today, it's going to annoy us and everyone listening, because it's Johnny podcasting talking about wrestling there, man. And the thing that I find so fascinating about this is he's such a nerdy mark for wrestling, yet he has no clue what's going on. And that's what I find amazing, that if you're an insider there, man, how are you not understanding what it is you're seeing? He's so dumb. And the fact that when was this recorded?
This will be the Wrestling with Reality from August 22nd. So about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the fact that he's still doing the thing that he said he was no longer doing, and who's his big insider contact that he's got? Chris Martin?
Maybe Shepard.
Now, the funny thing about that, Chris Martin is also the same name as the lead singer of Coldplay. And one of their big hits, much like Chris Martin, the podcaster's teeth, is yellow.
Oh. All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Get her done.
Yeah, we need an opening thing like what was Sunny Salem's? Like, what was her?
Let's get ready to crank it.
Right? Yeah, we need something like that. Normally when I say let's get ready to crank it, I'm alone in a motel with a bottle. Oh, never mind. Wait, are we going to see how many of these predictions are actually true?
I'm not going to touch on the predictions. That part's just fucking boring. Like, what's the point of that?
Well, just to start, I have two questions. One, why is Cheap Heat and Cheap Pop still have a Wrestling with Reality logo? Two, why is Twitter still WWR podcast? Like, this is the most half-ass rebranding. Like,
it is.
All time.
Yeah, and Brother Martin did a live stream on Facebook a couple weeks ago, live from the aisles of Walmart. And he didn't even mention Cheap Pops and Cheap Heat. He just said it was the Wrestling with Reality feed. But John, you got to get everybody in line. You got to get everybody up to date, and you got to correct the branding on everybody. So
plus, it's an amalgamation. It's an excellent word of Cheap Heat with, I think, Peter Rosenberg.
Yeah,
and then someone else has the Cheap Pops network or whatever. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
The weekend is here. SummerSlam is here as well. The spectacle of the summer, the hottest party of the summer, whatever they want to coin it as, is here. SummerSlam is upon us. You are listening to Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops. This is Wrestling with Reality on the Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops feed.
Who sound mixed this? Because both the background music and the audio are at the exact same level.
Low. They're both very super low. Oh.
Yeah, and he sounds like he's talking while wearing a mask. Like, hey guys, I'm looking there, man, to Cheap Peeps and Hot Guys. There, man, SummerSlam. I have a big hit, successful podcast, and my beard, it's naturally this great. You know what? Just while we're on this thing, Durbin, can you open up the photograph there of Wingling's profile picture? I just want to look at this guy. Look at his face. What a fucking dick. I think I hit him.
Those look like those are fake chompers, I think. Are those veneers?
Yeah, his fucking sweater matches the color of his beard. And every time I think I'm like getting over it, like whatever, I see his dumb face. I hate him. Look at his face. Can you expand the picture while playing the audio? I'm gonna fucking vomit. Can you imagine if you were that guy? Oh, Jesus. Could you imagine if that's what you had to wake up in the morning and the first thing you look in the mirror and you go, shit, it's still here there, man.
Well, at least he started growing the hair and he looks more like a, well, no. I was going to say he looks more like a human, but not really.
Those eyebrows really confuse me. I don't know what's going on there.
The teeth are fake, the beard is fake, and the download numbers are fake.
What's going on behind those eyes right now?
I know what he's thinking about.
Dick.
Yeah. And Tracy.
My name is Jon Wanglund, and joining me today for this show is the host of Inspired with Christopher. He will inspire you. He will get your mind going. He'll get your thoughts provoking. He's going to do a lot of things on his feed and for so many other people.
On his feed?
Oh, he's going to inspire me, all right, to say the word cunt 10 more times than I usually do on Fridays. This fuck. Well, this is what I'm always fascinated by. Who names this? Like, Wrestling with Reality, hosted by a guy who doesn't seem to understand what's going on in the real world. Yeah. Then we've got Inspired by a guy who consistently wants to kill himself. Like
as a podcaster and as someone who has, affiliated shows and whatnot, I'm starting to get really aggravated by this feed and one feed. God damn it, dude! You can go to what's the one that puts up free podcast feeds? Do you know that offhand? Either of you guys? It's
no,
I can't remember. You can get one for free. You can go pay $5 here. Hipcast is $20. Spreaker probably start. You know what I mean? This is so fucking lazy that it insults me as a podcaster. It's fucking lazy as shit.
But what annoys me is how bad they are. Because the one thing we can say about our podcast is that if you go to the episode 2, 3. Compared to the episodes we're doing now, the quality has changed so much from audio to editing to content in every way. The Johnny podcasting show is exactly the same shit as it began because he's so advice is AIDS to him.
Yeah.
So if the floor is lava, the advice is AIDS. he won't listen. Wangland, if you can hear me. First of all, put that cock down. And second of all, buy a better mic. Get a better recording system. Your sound is so bad and you don't know how to edit. If you're going to edit, put headphones on. You're fucking humiliating yourself worse than photographs of your face do.
What do you think he thinks when he goes into the office space with the wall of toys?
And we got some cool merch here tonight, too. And you're rocking out some of it right now, man. Let's kick it off with the merch stand. What you got, man?
And realizes that he bought them all for a podcast that doesn't exist anymore. And it was just this huge investment in nothing. Yeah. You think he realizes it and gets upset, or do you think he goes, that wall looks great. I am a genius.
Well, the thing is, he probably knows I could sell these on there, man, to some of the boys that I know. But I think that there's got to be part of him that understands, how did I fuck up so badly? And he was never going to make it big. He's talentless. We've also now heard stories that Dan Severn didn't like him, which is shocking to hear that because everybody else does. It's just, there's got to be part of him that thinks, what have I done with my life? I'm fucking married, I have kids, but I'm a loser. Oh my God, the fucking talk. Joe Feeney earns cash ole. That's French for whatever. Joe Feeney makes money from a wrestling podcast, and he doesn't talk about this sort of shit that much. And the fucking, we're doing SummerSlam predictions there, man. Who cares? Nobody wants to hear Marks talk about wrestling unless they've got a host like Jeff Blaine said.
And honestly, a prediction show is good for about a day or two. If someone somehow got interested in Wrestling with Reality and in 3 weeks they wanted to listen to a show, they're not going to listen to predictions of a show that already happened. Now they might listen to a review. Oh, I remember SummerSlam. It was good. Just a little inside tip about podcasting. Previews are fucking stupid. They have a 48-hour window.
And we're going to have some fun today on the show, talking some wrestling. We have the one and only Brother Martin, Christopher Martin. What's going on, Mr. Martin?
Can I just point out something else? The sound quality of this is so bad that I think Wangland still has a dial-up connection. It's do you ever get when you hear oh, here's a radio appearance that Metallica did on the Howard Stern show back in the late 80s, early 90s, and you hear this sort of like high-pitched frequency thing.
Yeah.
This is what's listening to this podcast, which is recorded less than a week ago.
And someone like taped it off the radio or yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking. He probably doesn't even have HD settings on his phone.
Brother John, thank you so much for the kind words. I greatly appreciate it. I'm so blessed, I'm honored, and I'm grateful that I'm able to come along with you tonight on this ride known as the SummerSlam preview. And I just want to let you know, to all the WWE-ites out there, you know, because me and John, we've been lifelong fans of the WWE. We're going to give you another chance, WWE.
The music has gotten louder.
It's fucking painful.
And instead of, like, obviously, here's one of the great things about my podcast is nobody knows I've got a nervous stammer because I edit it out whenever my stammer kicks in, so nobody knows till they make me. with what's his name? Yellow Teeth. They could fucking yar, fucking pirate mouth. They could edit out his stammers and lower the music. And this is, I don't think Wangland actually listens to the shit.
No, there's no way he listens back to it before releasing it. There's no way. He would learn. He would learn, oh, maybe I should mix the music down, bring the voices up, but he doesn't learn. He doesn't fucking learn, man.
He is the worst podcaster ever.
I gotta be honest though, man. I have not been really watching their product. Every time I turn it on, I have to turn it off because it sucks. I actually watched NXT.
Wait a minute.
Every time I watch it, it sucks. So I tune in next week to watch it again.
So you want me to listen to your preview show, but you don't know shit because you haven't been watching the shows?
The odd thing about that is he goes overboard trying to profess how he doesn't keep up with WWE current product, but how somehow he knows the backstory for every match. He knows what's going on. It's like he's either lying or he's just fucking stupid. I don't know.
I think he's stupid, but who starts off a wrestling podcast that way?
I don't know.
Oh, right.
For a few minutes last night, and they had I caught it right when the Pat McAfee segment came on, and Pat McAfee is obnoxious to me, but he's a great heel, and he killed it in his promo.
He's obnoxious to me, right? I just want to point something out. Like, I'm not Vince McMahon, despite what this is going to sound like. Bad guys are supposed to be annoying.
Well,
did you know that?
If John thinks you're obnoxious, and you're a heel, you're probably doing something right because he's an expert on obnoxiousity. I just made that up.
Yeah, no, I think this is just backing up the theory that he thinks wrestling is real. My God, there, man, this guy Pat McAfee's a real life villain. It's like, no, it's a character. He's playing fake because wrestling's fake. And this is the thing that what age is Wangland? This can we open up his picture again so we can see his face?
Oh no.
I don't want to look at it again, but I think he's in his late 30s.
Right. So this is an advisor and a minister who thinks wrestling's real. You really want to take advice from that? A guy with that face?
NXT. Did you get a chance to catch that promo at all that he did?
Yes, I did. And Pat McAfee, he did a phenomenal job. He freaking scorched Adam Cole. And the main thing that I've noticed is that, which it's sad that Pat McAfee, a outsider, is more believable as a heel than Adam Cole. And between that and the size difference, it's extremely difficult for me to believe that Adam Cole could kick his ass. I just don't believe it. What do you think?
He's the biggest punter in the world. Have you ever seen his compilation of clips from when he was a punter?
Yes. And plus, he loved to deck people. He loved to tackle people, too.
He was quite entertaining to watch as a punter. I will agree. He loved to throw his body on the line, and he was all whatever it was, decade team for the best punter for, whatever it was the last 10 years shortly before he retired. So
I swear to God, it's like my wife has been like, you give too much advice. Like it might actually be helping him, but it's just, that's how I criticize. Here's what you do when you're recording. You say, Pat McAfee is on the all, and then you grab your phone, you Google Pat McAfee and look up his thing, and then you continue the conversation like there was no break, and then you edit the break out. And you're going to sound really intelligent because you're going to, instead of going, all something, who cares? You're going to go, oh, he's all NFL punter of the last 25 years, because you'll have read the facts, said them, and then edited out the silence.
He had a very nice career. I don't remember anything about him because I don't remember the punters' names typically. So I don't remember really him playing or anything like that. And I remember I first got introduced to him when he was doing stuff for WWE, their pre-show. And I was like, who's this goof with the shorts all the time? And I just thought he was terrible. And when they got him off the screen, finally, I was super happy.
When they got him off the screen and my cock eventually went down, I was like, who's that loser there, man? Better ask him on Twitter, see if I can get an interview with him there, man.
I wish he tackled me.
Yeah.
That he had a really successful, I think it's a daily show that he does. I think it's a podcast that he does. And
Yes.
He's got a huge following to him. I've listened to his show a few times. I think it's terrible, but...
Go ahead.
I mean, are you fucking shitting me? What is the point? What is the point of that? Like, everything stinks, dude. It's so off-putting. Like, shut the fuck up. You know how many people, like, he just had Adam Cole on, and everyone knew about their confrontation because it was on that highly successful fucking show. God damn.
That's like Chris Benoit going, I don't think he's much of a parent, you know?
Jesus Christ.
This fucking, like, I listened to this show there, man. It's fucking terrible. When what's going on here? We've got two nobodies talking about a subject that they know nothing about for an hour and 25 minutes, which we're not fucking listening to the whole thing.
Oh,
No. I have clips. We're not listening to the whole thing.
that's beautiful.
No.
Obviously,
He's a
people
punter.
love what he does because he's got a big presence and he's got a huge focus. And
Okay, we're gonna have to replay that.
Huge.
Huge.
obviously, people love what he does because he's got a big presence and he's got a huge focus. And his promo last night knocked it out of the park. I loved how he said, I've made $1 million in 7 different professions. This is going to be number 8. And I was like, wow, that was a good line right there.
It's not as good as saying that you have 3 doctorate degrees and 4 houses, though.
I'm 38 years old and I've been successful at every job I've ever done. And this isn't an ego boost or an arrogant or cocky nature. I've been successful at everything I've ever done because I have high morals and values.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that we're about to hear that line from Wangland coming into October.
Yeah,
I've made $17 from 58 different podcasts there, man. I'm on the way to the top.
Damn, that's good right there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we could say he's obnoxious all day long, but he's obviously doing something right in his life. As he's in 7 going on 8 professions now where he's going to make $1 million. And Lord knows what the WWE is paying for him, but he's got a hell of a presence to him. I thought it was the first real WWE TV that I've watched in a while. I watch the clips and I try to sit through Raw sometimes, and I just can't do it. It's just that bad to me. That retribution angle has just been the absolute worst.
That's because you're an Antifa supporter. But he can't watch Raw because sitting there still for 3 hours is too much punishment for his ass.
I'm going to play a clip for you here. Stop me when you find something odd about it.
I think we're going to see it, and we're going to talk about Randy Orton later. So I won't talk about Randy Orton until we hit that because that's our main event. But
All right.
he's got to put the right players in places. And NXT TakeOver, I think it's next week, is it? Or in 2 weeks or something? Based
on Chris Martin's voice here, Wangland is recording with Norman Bates' mother. He honestly sounds like what a broken leg feels like.
And NXT TakeOver, I think it's next week, is it? Or in 2 weeks or something?
I think. Yeah. It's,
so they're not doing it the same weekend, and they're not doing it the same weekend like they typically do it of SummerSlam.
Who the fuck told you that, you insider?
Fucking idiot, dude. Jesus Christ. That's so, again, pick up your phone. It's a magical little device here. You can find anything you want.
This is why you know that he doesn't have a strong following.
Because nobody corrected it on it.
Yeah, it's a wrestling podcast that gives fake news. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
That was pretty tough.
crap, I'm bad with names. The lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins, the owner of
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan. He was pretty much stuck.
Oh. Martin, what the fuck are you listening to that you don't know Billy Corgan's name?
Yeah, Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, Billy Corgan, you should get to know because he's completely bald, just like Chris Martin's going to be by the time of summer 2021, based on that hair of yours. Not the girly part on the sides, talking about the fucking Rob Van Dam part on top.
People really enjoyed and picked up on girl hair. Like I saw people in the comments, people love that shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, why would he be shocked that someone would call him girl hair? If you have long hair down your back, that's the type of hair that a woman has. So if a guy has hair like that, you have hair like a girl.
Girl.
You are a girly man, and you have teeth the same color as gold.
Yeah, so he's an older talent, and I had Lance on the show last year. Really nice guy, and I learned a lot about his career. The guy's been toying around like literally since his early 20s. You know, he was a collegiate athlete.
Wait a minute. He's been what? Toying around? Come on, man.
The guy's been toying around like...
What is happening here? Why doesn't anyone in his everyday life correct him? Hey, Jeff Maxon from Colorado. What, you been his best friend for 20 years or something? Talk to your boy. This wouldn't exist if he knew how to, if he could command even a minuscule amount of the English language.
SmackDown, which came out Friday. By the time you hear this, it'll be Saturday. We haven't seen it yet. We're taping this early in the morning on Friday, 1:30 in the morning here. We're finishing this up here. So we are dedicated to everybody out there that listens to our shows. We're going to put as much as we can out. Hence why we're out here at 1:30 in the morning taping a show.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what time you're recording? Is that what? Why is that? Does that make you like a harder worker than other podcasters? Everyone has to spend extra time on this shit, dude. That's a part of it. What is that?
Was something he said in the Jeff Lane clips that really annoyed me. We kept going, I worked my ass off to get where I am. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Exactly what are you talking about? You do just what everybody else does. You sit down, well, only not what everybody else does because we have recording equipment. You sit down, you talk directly into the onboard mic in the bathroom or something like that. You don't have any sort of notes or water, to keep you liquidated there, man, and nice and fluids. You actually do less than the rest of us. Just because you stay up late to do it means you've less going on in your private life. You fat loser, you geek, you fucking failure.
You definitely need a bottle of water nearby, especially, I mean, if you've ever taken like 2.5 to 4 goofballs, after about 20 minutes, your mouth gets a little... So you're gonna need some water. I mean, I've heard that anyway. I'm not speaking from experience.
Yep. We love you guys and appreciate all your support and everybody listening and the growing audience we got and all the cool things you're doing. So I just want to throw that out there for a minute to everybody, to thank everybody who listens. And we really appreciate it. And welcome to all the new listeners that are coming through, which has been a lot. And we just are blown away by it. Thank you to everybody. Just want to make sure I throw that out there.
Any new listeners they've got for this, or for all the wrong reasons. People are listening because of us.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why Jim Cornette fans want to listen to I want to watch the AEW show, whatever it's called, because they want to see what he's going to bury.
So there's growing numbers. There's new listeners. He wants to thank them. There's all these great growing numbers. But growing from where? I thought you were so ultra successful before. Yeah. What do you say? How are they growing if they were all the way up here, Like maybe you really didn't have any kind of numbers before, and you sound stupid, man. If you were such a success, why do you have to keep harping on there's new listeners and shit? And there isn't.
The little speech he just gave right now, it's like, is he saying that to try and convince himself in his own mind, or is he trying to convince Brother Martin? It's like, I'd love to know what's going on in that head.
I read it in his community college marketing book at some point that you should, act as if.
Yeah.
The old saying, and that's all he's doing. He's trying to sound successful and important and this and that, and but he doesn't know how to do it right. When he thanks people for listening, it comes off as condescending. When Mike Durbin thanks his listeners, I actually believe him.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he must have read a book called How to Be a Podcast Host. So he's always tips where he's like, you got to call them great listeners there, man. And you got to always thank them, and you got to always talk about how many successes you got there, man. And you gotta do this there, man. That's his problem. Talk about how much you struggle. He's this. It's like the ticking the. I remember he would do these announcements on Twitter. Would be like, I just sad news for the great dishers out there, man. WWR is going to be delayed by 5 minutes than usual because there, man, it's just there's a lot of technical difficulties. Apologies to all the great listeners out there, man. Fuck off. I'm going to have to stop doing these after a while. I have such a great day all day. Then I have to listen to this cunt's fucking voice.
So what's the term they use for how they have the fans on the screens now in the WWE shows?
The Thunderdome?
Yeah. Now, what is Thunderdome? What's the genesis of that name? Anyone?
Mad Max.
Say it again.
Mad Max.
Yes, Mad Max. Thank you.
Mad Max Moon.
Apparently, John or Brother Martin have never heard or seen any of the Mad Max films because they think that the Thunderdome was from the movie Waiting. And that's where it started. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when Dane Cook goes, "Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch," like in the kitchen or something. Yeah.
So they think that's where it sprang from. So here we go.
Ow. SmackDown hits this week, and you got the new set at the Amway Center. This is their fixes I was talking about earlier. The Thunderdome, man. The Thunderdome. All I can think about is the movie Waiting when Dane Cook's playing the chef, the cook there at the back, and then he goes to the new waiter that comes in. "Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch." I'm like, where did they get this? Yet? Where did they get this fucking name to call the arena the Thunderdome?
I can't believe he's heard of Dane Cook, but he hasn't heard of Mel Gibson. Yeah, and the fact that Jon Wanglund is this old fat guy, why is he watching films about fucking restaurants? Hey there, man. You've got the stain on your shirt. It's like seeing it in 3D. But Wanglund, there's this guy called Mel Gibson. I don't know if you've heard of him. One of the most successful actors and directors ever, and he's never said anything wrong in his life.
No.
He was part of this franchise called Mad Max, which a couple of years ago there was a fourth one made with Tom Hardy. So it's kind of a big deal. And the fact that you don't know that, or the fact that you couldn't use this app that I've downloaded called Google to research what the fuck Thunderdome is, it just shows you how shit you are at podcasting. Like, he's now doing a show again about a product he doesn't know about, and now he's talking about things he doesn't even understand. Obviously fucking Chris Martin doesn't know about it because, he's clearly not spending all that time fucking brushing his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there buying conditioner like a girl would because his hair like a girl.
Like, I'm begging these guys. Like, if you think, like, obviously nothing's changed, so all the changes that are supposed to come, this is just the same old shit. But if you're going to continue to do a wrestling review or news podcast, could you at least get an Observer subscription or, like, subscribe to PW Insider Elite, like something that'll give you actual information? You could even steal their perspective, so it'll sound like you have something to say. But all this, like, oh, I heard and maybe, and I don't know about the Thunderdome, like, you sound stupid. Your show, even if you're just get some fucking information if you're going to talk about a subject. That's all.
This next part's my favorite. He compares the Sonya Deville stalker incident with what he's experienced in these past couple months due to us.
Drama queen, secretly, well, let's just keep saying secret. He's such a fucking,
I mean, let's face it. There's nothing compared to it. And if I was ever to break into John's house, it wouldn't be to kidnap him. It would be to raid his medicine cabinet. So
yeah, and if I was going to break into this house, I would force podcasting. Fuck it. I'll try it again.
See, Mike, what you'll do there is edit it and fix it and make him sound better.
Yeah. Go ahead, do it again.
Yeah, don't edit that out so we can keep in like criticism. Yeah, if I was going to break into your house, John, I would force podcasting equipment on you.
See, that's how you do it, John. You would edit that part out and then start it where it... Oh, shit. Hold on.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Jon Wanglund's breaking into fucking Durbin's house. He said, hey there, man. I'm going to edit you. I don't know how to edit audio, but I'm going to edit you.
If that happened in Jon Wangland's house, he wouldn't have edited it out.
So you're going to be keeping it in when you hear what we said when you were gone?
Okay. All right, here we go.
But I'm telling you, like, what's your take on the whole thing with Sonya Deville and her, like, the creepy stalker fan?
It's terrible. And it's sad to see that people think they can invade somebody's life like that. And it's sad to see when people take a character and they bring it into the real life of it and they try to stalk them. They try to exploit them.
Johnny podcasting's a character there, man.
Do you remember earlier on he was talking about how Pat McAfee is obnoxious because he thought it was real? So Johnny Fatcasting is now talking about well, this is just more on the hypocrisy pile.
Unbelievable.
They try to potentially cause harm to them, whether it's physically, emotionally, in any way. Lord knows I know a little bit about that, and so do you, and people that are out there. Just a little bit right there. So take that dig in right there, folks. And to those out there that listen incessantly to it, there you go. It's absolutely wrong what some people do where they take people who are performers like that and they take it to that level. We get it from a small dose, from a small group of friggin' goofy marks and people that are just awful people.
Okay. I just want to point this one out. Okay. This guy is equating having his shitty podcast made fun of. He's comparing that to, or should I say, equaling that to a woman almost being raped, murdered, and kidnapped, and not in that order.
God damn.
Can you understand how warped this is? This guy's a freak. Like, it's what we're doing isn't illegal. What we're doing, it's called transformative content.
Yeah.
So, Wangland, you can't relate to it. And it's almost like, in a way, when you think about it, putting out threatening videos about Vince Russo and Jeff Lane and Troy and all that sort of shit. So this is just more of a Johnny podcasting, being Johnny hypocritical with this fucking brain damaged girl here. And they're all just going to, what's the word?
Enable?
Yeah, they're enabling each other with these stupid, we're such victims and we've done nothing wrong there, man. Fuck off.
And for anybody out there that does that to anybody on that level, physically, mentally, whatever you're doing, get a fucking life. And really, like, I'm going to throw the heat out there at that, man, because that's why this is called cheap heat and cheap pops now. I'm going to throw some cheap heat out there. Anybody that does shit like that.
Actually, you changed the name of the show because all advertisers knew before that you were full of shit with click farms. So the show has changed now so that you can go to these advertisers. Hey, I've never been here before. Can I have the same deal again, please? Oops, I mean, cheap heat and cheap pops.
So as serious as that sounded, John almost sounded like he was going to start crying. Brother
he
Martin
thinks he's a victim.
Yeah, totally. Brother Martin takes it upon himself to make some insensitive jokes.
And Mandy Rose was in the house with her, actually, which is funny.
How is that funny?
Because he thinks wrestling's real, much like the kid who he's talking about. She's like, it's kind of weird that they'd be in the house there, man. My feeling is that instead of going to bed, Sonya Deville hit it with a steel chair.
Here's Brother Martin's comment.
She was sleeping. She was sleeping in the house when it happened.
Well, where was Otis?
There we go. That's what I love. Where's Otis, man? Otis would have taken care of that.
You fucking
idiot.
Oh my God.
Can I just point out he has 2 children? And he used to be in the army. And he's a minister and he's a counselor. And he's talking about wrestling like it's real. Like, does that not scare you?
Well, I would just say that when it comes to obsessing or stalking or whatever, that watching a 2.5 hour Skype call that you were invited into to try to find any dirt, 2.5 hours of a Skype call, that's pretty fucking nuts and obsessive, buddy. And then of course, commissioning a video now designed to harm people, right? Wasn't it? So exactly what you're bitching about. You're a fucking hypocrite. And you know you were doing it first, and you know you've done more worse shit that we don't even know about.
Plus, wasn't he on his shitcast talking about how he could choke me out in a fight?
10 seconds, baby.
Yep. All right. Speaking of choking out, this next clip is John talking about his days as a security guard, and he describes his body type.
Wow.
I've done security on and off my whole life. And I worked at a club. I was working a rave of all things when I was 19, and they would give us pepper spray in case anybody got out of hand. So
it wasn't a rave. It was probably a church disco.
I mean, you know how you can tell when someone's just making up a story as they go along?
Yeah.
Like a rave of all things. Like there's never raves at clubs. You did club security your whole life and you've never heard of such a thing or had to do security for a rave. There's raves every weekend everywhere, you dumb fuck.
And they give me pepper spray. See, the way I don't like his voice, but it's his literal pronunciation and the way he says pepper spray.
Punter.
They give me pepper spray. And you see his dumb face? I want to fucking... I don't think I can do this while recording. Like it's honestly ruining my day. We're supposed to be doing a movie night later on, and I'm gonna have to tell her to fuck off. Yeah. I say, like, leave me alone, cunt. I'm fucking I'm sitting in the dark room because this shithead said pepper.
And so up next, he's going to describe his body type, which is pretty humorous.
Well, does he say that he's shaped like a bowling pin?
He drops another classic phrase. It's almost on the level of Get My Go. Here we go.
I'm not a tall guy. For anybody that's never seen my picture or anything or never met me in person, I'm not a tall guy, but I'm a pretty broad and type guy. I've always have been. It's just my body nature. So I'm not the most imposing guy.
His body nature? What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Well, clearly body nature is the title of the episode so far. But yeah, John, we've seen photographs of you online, and nice tits, honey. Those look like the kind of tits that Andrew Dice Clay would fucking heckle at a stadium. Look at the tits on this slag right here.
Oh, man.
Look at his face.
That haircut, man. I'm so glad.
How do you go through the day knowing that that's what you like? Everything about that, from the shit hair to the crap beard to those sunglasses that fucking Michael Knight wouldn't even wear and fucking Knight Rider. Both those women look like they could beat the shit out of him.
And would have me do security for him when he would need help. And he would have these huge raves. They were legal. They were legal. He had licenses for them because the club, and he owned a warehouse next door. So it would get crazy with people in there because in raves, typically.
Can you hear he's telling the story in his head? I know a lot of people that own. In fact, my best friend owns a strip. A strip club. Yeah, that's the ticket.
An actual strip club. An actual strip club.
Yeah, and just to add on to the John Lovitz thing, I can just go, he's losing his mind.
Acting.
And I'm reaping all the benefits.
People are messed up on drugs and stupid shit. So we would get pepper spray and stuff. And we had these two guys that were trying to get back. They were completely drugged out of their gore. And I was like,
drugged out of their what?
Drugged out of their gore.
Like rhinos tackle? The gore? Jesus H. Christ.
This next clip, it's John stumbling over his words, but not editing it out.
You don't say.
Yeah, and I agree. Once again, I agree 100%. I think at the end of the day, the person that comes out of this down the road smelling the road, you wake up and a bad analogy, can't even spit that shit out. But the person that's going to come out of this in the long term smelling like roses is what I meant to just say there. Sorry, folks, it's late.
Man, that was like a George W. Bush clip,
Yeah, it's like George W. Bush or that Teen USA
or Carmine Jr. on Sopranos. Remember how he used to fuck up all the time? His malaprops.
You film it once, shame on you, but fool me more times, and I won't get fooled again.
Jesus H. Christ.
This next clip, he gives a little shout out to his former co-host, Mr. Rad Rob.
The king of strong smile himself, Mr. Apollo Crews. He is taking on. You like that name?
Yes, I love it.
I can't take credit for that, and I'll even give him a shout out here on the show, even though I don't like him. But Rob is the one that came up with that one, so all credit goes to Rob Francois on that one because Rob gave him that name, and I thought it was hilarious. I remember the first time he did it, I spit my fucking drink out laughing because it was that good, and it's so true. So just going to throw that out there because
Well, everybody else likes Rob more than they like you, John. Nobody thinks that Rob's a fucking lunatic, fucking obsessed little marky boy. Well, he is for me. But for normal people like Wangland, just shut the fuck up. And you can take all the shots you want, but it just makes everything 10 times worse for yourself. Now Rob has the right to take a shot back.
Yeah.
Which he will.
Someone, I think it may have been one of the grapplers, was like, he always thought of Rob like a kid that got mixed in with the wrong crowd. You know what I mean? Like he always knew that Rob wasn't the problem, is basically what he meant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's one. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. When Rey had that incident with his eye, what would you call that? What happened to Rey?
He got his eye plucked out.
Yeah, plucked out, poked out. John has invented a new word.
Ended up to Ray getting his eye gacked out in the eye for an eye match. They freaking gacked it out of him supposedly, and he's blind now into one eye.
I've never heard that in 42 years.
Someone being gacked out is someone that has done a little too much coke. Then you're gacked out, you know?
Yeah, I wonder where he heard that term from before.
Yeah.
Oh God! Minus the fact that his dad.
This is great stuff. This
Even better than gacked out. This next one is fucking tremendous. I love this one. Here we go. Husey, you're tall and jacked, right?
Yes, I'm 6'1" or 6'2". Haven't checked in a while, and I'm about 240 of ripped, pretty tight muscle. Thank you.
So 6'1". So if we ever met up in person, I'm 5'7". So what would that be called? You tower over me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tower.
Yeah,
What's your
and he
prediction,
cowers
Josh?
over him. He cowers over his dad too, and
He just said it twice.
Yeah. He cowers over him.
That's really bad.
All right. Here's the closing.
So, Chris, anything you want to say to take us out, my friend?
First off, Brother John, thank you so much for having me, man. As always, we have a blast, and which I feel like every single time, like we do like a show together, that like the fans that they really, really love it too, and they can really feel like the love and like the respect and the fun that like we're having, and I hope and pray that can rub off on them.
Who told you that, Chris?
You know what it's like? It's like, do you ever get when kids are playing? I'm the wizard, Harry Potter and all this stuff. And then it goes on a little too much. And then they become these fucking adults who are like, oh, I'm a member of Starfleet Academy. They go, you're what? And I'm not going to your fucking house. You're one of those Hufflepuff cunts. This is what this is. They believe this stuff. So either Johnny Podcasting has specifically targeted and brainwashed this fucking genius,
Pretty much.
or Yellow Teeth, Pirate Teeth actually believes this.
With their relationships, their friendships, their marriages, whatever it is, that you need to have fun and not take life so seriously. And if you need to take a few hours out of your week just to listen to our shows, just to get your mind back within like a peaceful state, then do it, guys. Because me and John, we're so grateful that you guys take time out of your lives to listen to what we have to say. And we pray that we add to your life.
Well, you're certainly adding to ours because we can't stop making fun of you. I genuinely see no end in sight. And the more they keep recording and tweeting and announcing stuff, we're going to keep doing it.
We may have to go to 3 shows a week. Jesus Christ.
You can take something from every show and you can either use it to laugh, smile. You can use it to think and ponder on. And just guys, just thank you so much. John, thank you, brother. And to the people that keep downloading my show, which I'm doing bonker numbers right now. I'm doing phenomenal numbers, the best numbers I've ever done in my show's history.
Bonker numbers.
It's unbelievable. I'm amazed that Jon Wanglund doesn't say to him, you know, maybe don't say that. Like for example, what was the last Inspired even about?
It might have been him and his brother Nick talking about conspiracy theories again. I think that was what it was.
Right, so he actually thinks that this is going to get bonkers numbers.
Yeah.
Like, it's not normal to boast about this sort of stuff. He's a fucking freak. Like, he's not even like an innocent, harmless, wee special boy. He's a fucking idiot. He deserves all this shit. I'm glad he hurt his back again. I'm glad his phone was stolen, if that actually happened.
That is great.
Thank you to every person out there. I do not take it for granted. I'm so blessed. I'm blown away. I'm grateful. And I could say this 1,000 times over, guys. Thank you. I love you. And just thank you for giving me the privilege of you guys taking time out to download and hear me out. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. God bless you. And if you...
Yeah, who would think that there's 7,000 people in the one house in the same place, right in the middle of India, will all want to hear the same podcast?
Jesus Christ.
I feel so bad for Chris. I feel bad for you that you're so excited. You're genuine. You can hear how happy he sounds. And John's just sitting back there thinking, like, you're causing him to have a future breakdown, man.
Pretty much.
You know, it's like you're filling him with these lies and everything.
Yeah, this is why Wangland needs to get fucking honest, because, like, Rad Rob is noticing that shit's a lot more, well, harsh realities of when you don't have some guy going, hey, you get 17,000 downloads. He's now realizing, fuck, so now he's going to, like, really up his game.
Mm-hmm.
So Wangland is fucking over so many people. And you know what? I have no sympathy for Martin when it all comes crashing down. He should have known years ago. This is all his own fault. And the fact that Wangland's going to keep doing this, it just backs up how much of a cunt that we all know he is.
Plus, he's been told. He's been told publicly. I'm sure he's been told privately. He's been told on podcasts. You know, when Rob and Richie left, there was a whole series on him and how John really talked about him and felt about him. And so he's been told, man. He's been fucking told.
Yeah, this is like fucking hearing that Mark David Chapman just got some backstage passes for the fucking Beatles show. It's like, oh, this is going to go well.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to check me out, please check me out on Inspired with Christopher.
We're going to need to re-record there. My chair started to creak.
And if you guys want to check me out.
And I couldn't hear what was said. You know, Norman Bates is going, Norman, you're a good boy, aren't you?
Which is on the same feed as this show here. Deep Heat and Cheap Pops podcast feed.
All right, that's the end of that one. Final thoughts, go ahead.
It's really a mixture of I don't know whether to feel sorry for Martin, or is he such a pretentious little cunt that I can't wait to see the downfall.
I think it's both.
Because at some point, even the stupidest cunt in the world catches on. And like even members of cults turn around and go, wait a minute, this David Koresh guy's fucking wrong. It makes good Lucasade, but you know, what do you think he does when he finds out Wangland's been lying to him?
I don't want to say on here.
The thing is,
it's going to involve a certain hotline's going to have to be called.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Martin is the only guy who Wangland doesn't call his best friend.
Yeah.
So there's
Chris
a side,
him, right? Chris calls him his best friend.
Yeah.
He's my best friend. Fucking Johnny Five is alive.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please, we need you. I'm trying to wrap up here.
Yeah.
We need you to comment on the video, right? Husey, tell us what that does for us.
Yes. Thanks everyone for the tweets and the DMs about it, but that in a way doesn't help. YouTube is so fucked up these days that they make it extra difficult for people to get views. The recent, at the time of recording this, I think episode 12, part 1, it's done pretty well view count wise because people are actually leaving comments and interacting with the video. That's what we need people to do on YouTube. That if you watch one of the episodes and like it, then you need to comment there. Don't come to fucking Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. If you're on YouTube and you like it, comment on YouTube. And I can't believe I had to explain that.
I know for years I never had a YouTube account. Like I didn't care to comment on there. So I understand why people don't. I eventually only got one to start responding on the Keeping It 100 YouTube. But Hughesy's right. It's a lot easier. There's some good interaction starting there. So go join in and use your favorite quotes and whatnot. And it helps the show. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe as well.
Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you once again. Enjoy the day, but don't get too stoned off your gore.
Yeah. Gotta watch that.